They're just uncertain about what's going on. And every time, like you said, news comes out about whatever you just brought up, Russia, the tariffs, anything like that, consumer confidence goes down, and then our industry feels it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that, the idea of the FOMO, right, is
Yeah.
we're not experiencing that right now with buyers that are like, I've got to get in right now. Like, they're more worried about making a mistake than they are about missing out, for sure. That's definitely a pretty consistent theme. But the reality is, these things in the cycles that they are, right, best move is always, to get into a home and manage, ultimately your long-term wealth through, the acquisition of a home. But there's a lot of noise out there, and that it does, fear,
A lot of fear.
and the idea of making a mistake. And I think a lot of people are seeing a lot of the, whatever you want to call it, PTSD around maybe what they saw their parents go through, or what they went through post real estate meltdown, and in the mid early 2000s, right, 2006, 7, 8, 9, where people are just wanting to avoid making a quote unquote major mistake, and so it's like they want everything to fall into place, like you said. And I've definitely been hearing about deals falling apart last minute over a few $1,000s, and
That's
you're
what I'm
talking about a
$700,000-$800,000
home, and $2,000 is the difference between closing and not, and you just head scratch to the level of urgency.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are. You're right. I don't have the statistics off the top of my head, but how many people lost that largest investment of their entire life? In 2006, 7, 8, 9, and now we're, what is it, 15 years later, and a lot of people are still like, okay, I've got what I've got, and I know I want to do something, but I've got to hold on. I'm scared. Someone said it's going to get better next year. We've been saying that for 3 years now. So I think there's a lot of fear out there, and until they see it.
Yeah, the narrative is all mixed too. I've
Yes.
seen, you've seen it. Like, it's going to crash. It's not going to crash. This is the time to buy. This is not the time to buy. So that's the uncertainty part.
Yeah.
Is not positive. And housing prices are declining. We're seeing a little decline, and we haven't seen that in a long time. We've had a great run. We have. So that's interesting too.
And we ask this question a lot about, is this the right time to buy? People, will be on both sides of it. Oh, you got to wait because, house prices are coming down, right? I mean, you just said it.
Yes.
And, I'm going to get a good deal, or interest rates, later this year. Everybody keeps promising, it was, it's going to be great in, 23. Oh, stay alive till 25. And now I heard the other day something like 28 will be great. But it's kind of crazy out there.
It is.
That it's just the way. I do believe that if you look at a graph long term, the question, is it a good time to buy? How long are you going to keep the house? And are you in it for, you said 7, 8, 9 years?
Yep.
Most trends will show, yeah, you should have bought, because you waited for that interest rate to go down, but the house got more expensive. Yes. Or if you bought here and you just waited through this trough, it would be a lot, worth a lot more. So
that's a regular thing. I think one of the things that's challenging for the consumer now too is who to believe, right? Like the world has, I wouldn't say changed in terms of who's trustworthy, who's not. I think that's just the way that it's always been. But the access to information and how many opinions people can solicit creates a lot more confusion. Instead of getting 4 or 5 opinions, you can get 50,000 opinions at your fingertips. And then how do you decipher all that information to make a decision? I think that's another aspect of it. And when you have so many people that are able to freely sound like experts, well, then who's an expert?
Yeah. Well, it's like the conversation we had just a minute ago about tariffs. I mean, I read, you know, I don't know how many blogs I read every day, every morning.
Well, it's good you can read.
I can read a little bit. It takes me a while. But, you know, there's so many opinions on both sides. And these are accredited, economists and you know, people that you respect this person. So you're right. There's
a great
there's
point.
So many
highly
different
respected people on both ends
right.
of the spectrum, and that's tough. That's where you're like,
yeah, this dude's
flip a
from
coin.
Harvard,
How about
this
that?
dude's from Yale.
Yeah, like
flip a coin, Phil.
flip a coin, and then or like I'm just gonna do nothing because I don't know what to do.
And that's
like,
what they do.
And that's what we've